welcome to Travel Tuesday Happy Hour, where we interview dope people doing dope things from around the world. And today I want to talk to you guys about Season 2. Season 2 has been an amazing experience. We've gone literally around the world and then back. And so I really hope you guys enjoy the show. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and you know what? Go ahead and click that notification button so that you'll know when the episodes drop. Alright, peace.
What's going on, Travel Fam? If you ever thought about starting a podcast, check out Anchor. Anchor is free. Anchor will provide you tools to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor will also distribute your podcast to multiple streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Everything you need right in one app. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
We're all taking pictures. Next thing I know, the baboon leaps on the girl in front of me and takes her sweater and her water bottle. And he would not give her sweater back. That was warning number 1.
Hey, welcome to Travel Tuesday Happy Hour, where we interview dope people doing dope things. So tell us who you are.
I am Nilenia Morena Cordero, and most of my friends call me Nini.
Okay, and where are you from?
I am from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow. You said that with pride.
Well, I was about to say Philadelphia, but then I realized, maybe I should add the Pennsylvania part.
Okay. So what do you do?
I am an assistant city solicitor for the city of Philadelphia. So I'm an attorney for the city of Philadelphia in the torts litigation unit.
Looks like we got a furry guest. Oh, let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Yeah, my dog, she's 4 months. She'll be 4 months this Thursday. Luna Moon Cordero.
Luna Moon, is that from Sailor Moon?
No, I don't know. It's Lunar Moon, so I was gonna nickname her Luna, and just say Moon, but then I just made it her real name, Luna Moon.
So what got you into traveling in the first place?
So my mom got me into traveling. I've been traveling with her since I was a baby, essentially. And then, I just remember traveling with her. My first major trip that I remember is going to Domingo, Mexico. And I had my 4th birthday there. We stayed with the family while she went to school to I guess to Spanish, to take Spanish lessons there in Domingo, because she was a teacher, and then part of her curriculum was teaching Spanish.
Okay. How was that experience as 4 years old?
It was definitely something I actually still remember. I remember living with a family. I was obsessed with the teenage daughter. Her name is Gabby, and I just wanted to hang out with her the whole time. And then she had a brother, Blotty, and I hated him. And I think I tried to abuse him, or something like that. I got in trouble for it. I had my 4th birthday there, so I had I don't know where these people came from, but I had what's the thing called that dangles? I forgot.
The piñata.
I had a piñata. I had my own cake. I really love cake, but this is what they did. They dunked my head into the cake. And I love cake so much that I cried because I was so pissed off that they did that. But other than that, I had a really good experience. And they didn't, when they made pancakes, they didn't use syrup. And that used to really bother me too.
Okay. So what did he use instead?
Butter, just butter. So he had dry pancakes.
Okay. So at 4 years old, what was your first plane ride like? Do you remember that part of it?
I just remember that I used to have problems with my ears popping, so I had to chew gum a lot. So that was the one thing that I always have to have is gum, because my ears pop a lot. Okay. But other than that, I don't think I was a whiny kid that was annoying and kick the seat or was bothersome to anybody that was flying next to.
Okay, cool. So where have you been since then?
So that was 4 years old. Then my mom used to do several trips to like Mexico. Like we went to Puerto Vallarta, Guadalajara. When I was 14, we went to Cancun, Mexico. But we also went to Puerto Rico when I was younger. We went to, I think like 11, 12, but we went to London, England, and Paris, France. And then, when I was 13 or 14, we went to Italy, and we did like a whole tour of Italy with a day trip to Switzerland. So we went to like Rome, we went to Venice, we went to St. Assisi, we went to Capri, we went to Milano. So we did various places in Italy, and then we also did a tour of Spain, which consisted of Seville, Granada, Madrid. I'm sure I'm missing some other place. And then we did Portugal, and then we did like a 3-day trip to Morocco. That was like with my mom. Those are like major trips. Like, and we did Costa Rica when I was like 17. Where else? Oh, the last trip I went to with my mom was Amsterdam, which was pretty good. And the last time I've traveled was last year without my mom to Cape Town, South Africa.
Oh wow, how's Cape Town? Actually, I love Cape Town. How was that?
I liked it too, and I liked being with like it was an organized trip thrown by one of my friend's sister, so it was an itinerary. The one thing I was really sad about was we wanted to go to the island where Nelson Mandela was held captive, where he was kept in jail. However, we had tickets and everything, but due to the weather, like the weather wasn't cooperating, and so the boats weren't going out there. And so that's like the one thing that like I'm sad that I didn't get to do. The best thing or the craziest thing was we went to this place and we saw these warning signs that says baboons beware. So we get to this place, and you're supposed to travel up. Don't ask me where we were, but you're supposed to travel up to the top. And we didn't even have good traveling shoes, but we were going to try to do our best. We actually had flip flops. The guy who took us just randomly said like this was a cool place to do, and so like we were initially on the beach with penguins, but then from going like chilling on the beach with penguins, we took a turn to like going up this thing with that it says baboons beware. So then you see like one baboon, or like you're out and about and you see one baboon scurry and you're like, oh, that's so cute, oh my god, it's so cute, let me get a picture, boom boom. And then we start traveling and like walking where everybody's walking because they're walking up to get to the top of the mountain. And then like this girl, she was directly in front of me, like 2 inches in front of me. Like there was a baboon on the side, and we were all taking pictures. Next thing I know, the baboon leaps on the girl in front of me and like takes her sweater and like her water bottle. And he would not give her sweater back. Like that was warning number one. But we were like, okay, maybe that's just one time, So we continue walking, and then another baboon like runs up on a girl too, and then after that we were like, I'm good, I'm good. They were like the best thieves I've ever saw in my life. Like I go into like the store, like the souvenir store, and then next thing you know, you hear a scream because like somebody was eating pizza and the baboon swiped the pizza.
Wow. Wow. Did you get a chance to visit Bocap?
No, I don't think we did.
Okay.
I'm like really bad with places though. Like, I mean, we could have, but I'm so bad.
It's the place with all like the colorful houses, like all the
with
houses.
The steps. Do they have colorful steps?
Yeah. No, not the colorful steps. So
okay.
It's the one where like all the houses down the street are like a bunch of different colors. And so,
no,
and then there's the Bocap Museum in that same area.
You know what? We did. Well, we did do community service there in Cape Town, South Africa. We went to a residence or area that just was underprivileged, and we talked to the girls there, and we donated like sneakers, and then we brought like several girls, like just different like back, like necessities for like care and treatment. And then we did like affirmations and speeches and just, like just talking to them about like their experience and, like growing up and their fears and their worries and their concerns, like with school and stuff like that.
Okay. So what kind of trips do you like taking? Like, are you the free flowing, I'm going to just book this myself? Or are you the type that's like, I need this all planned out for me?
So I am definitely the type that needs it all planned out for me. I am not free flowing. I like plan and organization, but that goes back to my mom. My mom was a travel like Nazi. She was a drill sergeant. She had everything organized. You were not staying in a hotel watching TV. Like we had an itinerary, and like the flights were booked. We were with a tour group.
Mm-hmm.
So I am definitely for organized trips, like with itineraries, with flight plans, with payment plans, with the hotel laid out and everything.
Okay. Okay. So as far as trip goes, right? Like now, today, well, not today while COVID, but pre-COVID, like what interests you about taking that next trip?
So the next trip I was supposed to take was to Bali, Indonesia, with a couple of days stop to Singapore. Um, and it's getting rescheduled to May. So I guess like going to different places, like Bali was actually like my to-do list, like my honeymoon goal, like where I wanted to do my honeymoon at. But you can't, hey, you got to make it happen when you can make it
Yeah.
happen. An opportunity, you got to take that opportunity. Husband, no husband, with even friends. And I think that traveling to different places and seeing different cultures and seeing like how people they go about like the way of life is just exciting. It's exciting to get out of the United States and to
Okay.
get among a different culture, like different people, different
Okay.
life.
So you say you're from Philly, but like, what's your kind of family dynamic? Like, are you like all black, white, kind of bit of mixed?
So I'm mixed, but I consider myself black. It's just so much easier than saying like, well, let me check the box for Caucasian, let me check the box for Native American, let me check the box for Hispanic. Now we'll do that if a scholarship entails, because you got to be very specific to get those bad boys. You'd be like, yep, I'm all of those. Money, let it go. But I definitely relate to African American being black. I mean, it's easy just to narrow it down, and that's how people will view you. I mean, they don't view you as like, oh, they're definitely not like, oh, you got to drop a Caucasian. Okay, that's significant. Like they view you by your skin color. Even going to different places, like when I went to Costa Rica, they were like negrita, negrita,
Oh,
which is
wow.
black girl, but they call the white boy gringo.
Okay, so that leads me to my next topic, right? So, with the current state of civil unrest, how do you feel about things, right? We have both black men and women, deaf, straight, gay, regardless of your orientation, where it almost seems like we're being targeted on a regular basis. What are your thoughts on that, and how does that impact your views on things?
So I've always been like a minority in situations. I do CrossFit. I'm the only there's only a few black people in CrossFit, and it's interesting because during the pandemic where this whole George Floyd, Breonna Taylor was going on, the CEO of CrossFit, his name is Greg Glassman, he never even released a diversity statement and saying that we support and stand by black people, but yet he did it for the LGBTQ community, but he didn't do it for this time. And then he was asked a question, and I forgot what question he said. I think it had to do with like, oh, the marching, the protests, people getting sick, people getting sick. So he called it Floyd 19, which was totally like, you're not going to issue a diversity statement and then somebody asks you and you're calling it like Floyd 19. That's like crazy. So it really divided the CrossFit community. A lot of people dropped their affiliation with CrossFit. My box was already de-affiliated, and then my other box that I belong to, they de-affiliated. And it was just like, in a lot of CrossFit was up in the air for a long time, but he stepped down as CEO. And now, like they're trying to unify and, make up for what he did. But, like I used to ski, and I remember being on a ski trip, and I was with 3 other black women, and the guy was like, oh, he was like, so what are you guys doing on this trip? Because, I'm not used to seeing like black people on ski trips. Like, we're like, hey, we're skiing, like, I mean, I wasn't like doing blacks or anything, like black trails, but I was doing greens and blues. So it wasn't like I was like, okay, skier, I'm not like the best, but still just the shock of that, and I went to, but like even being an attorney, a black attorney, like I was on a Zoom virtual debt and I log in, and when you log in, it says your name at top. So it says Nilenia Cordero. All the other parties, they've emailed me, and my email is nilenia.cordero at such and such, when I signed my things, it says Nilenia Cordero. But as soon as I logged on, they were like, plaintiff, yes, such and such. I remember going to court, and I had to say like 5 times that I was like the attorney from the city of Philadelphia, because you get plaintiff, defendant, court reporter, and that just happens, and that's been a topic a lot, where minorities get mistaken as court reporters or defendants, or anything but an attorney. So I think, it's about these implicit biases, like breaking down people's implicit biases, breaking down racism. And I think we're just not there, it feels like like somebody has to be like, there has to be a race at the top and a race that suffers at the bottom. That's just my viewpoint, and people are content to have this upper hand, and instead of like just making everything equal, even with, like, different, religions and, like people's views on same sex marriage, like, I just don't understand like why we just can't let people be.
So do you feel like, a lot of companies are now doing race-based trainings or implicit bias trainings or cultural diverse trainings? Do you think that's a knee-jerk reaction to what's going on? Do you feel like some of these companies are genuinely doing this because they care?
So my company is a part of that. And I think, and the head of my company is an African American male. And I do think that, it's about trying to make a difference in the people that you can reach, So I do think, and I think sometimes people do have genuine, goals, to educate themselves, to educate other people, to bridge gaps. And I think that even if, some people aren't sincere, like, I'm going to give people the benefit of the doubt, because we still have to try. I think, in any means necessary, bridging the gap, even if it seems, we've got to put out every effort that we can, to try to unify, to try to understand our own privileges that we have, and to realize and to like erase any implicit biases or preconceived notions, like, and that also entails starting with us, because we also have to educate our own selves. We also have to acknowledge that we have our own implicit biases. And I don't think that some people are willing to do that. Some people are content with, being of the superior race or the superior religion of the superior, like whatever. And, they feel content with having somebody, at the bottom, somebody that they can pick on.
Right. So, the reason, with a lot of this uproar is kind of due to the fact that everybody's pretty much had to sit down and kind of take some self inventory, right? And due to COVID, a lot of people's pretty much had time to sit and watch these tragic events occur over and over and over again. Where were you when COVID started, and how has COVID impacted?
So I was kind of like, I mean, COVID-19 was circulating. I remember planning events for like Women's Month in March, and then having to like slow that down. And then I remember getting orders saying that they were shutting down the building of where I worked at. But however, they were trying to determine if lawyers were essential employees. And that was kind of like up for grabs. So I was kind of at work where this whole like, where it was really buckling down, I remember, just like, okay, it's hit, Philadelphia, and that like first it hit Lower Marion actually, which is right across the street from essentially Philadelphia, and then like the whole Montgomery County shut down. And then, of course, Philadelphia County is definitely next because like we're adjacent. And it was just like a slow, gradual like shutdown, it was kind of scary. And then a few days later, like I found out that my uncle got COVID-19. He lives in New York. And then, days from him getting COVID-19, he passed away. So, definitely when he passed away, I realized it's not a joke. It's very serious. And then we didn't understand like, how it was, like how does one get COVID-19, it was pretty much, like stay away from other people, keep in your house, only go out when necessary.
So how are you adjusting to the new norm, right? Outside is slowly opening up. And unfortunately, we're seeing new cases, right? But how are you adjusting? Because, you should always look at the silver lining. We're still here. We're still fortunate to still be here. And, we should be looking forward to what to do next. So how are you adjusting? And, what are you looking forward to do next?
So I feel like, you miss your friends, you miss people that are not in your household. You miss, civilization and, like, so, social events. However, your safety, like my safety is fundamental, So I mean, I think it's cool for outdoor events. Um, to be amongst your friends like outdoor. I'm like a little hesitant indoor for indoor events. I'm not really there. I've really like tried my best to definitely social distance. And if I do hang out, it's like outside. And it's been very sporadic when I do hang out with friends, and it definitely has been outside. But still like sometimes you wonder, you're like, well, who have you been with? Like those like you sometimes you have to think that, like, where have you been? Like, or you definitely have to be careful of your surroundings, who you hang out with.
So,
I seriously.
yeah, so you mentioned CrossFit earlier, right? How has that adjusted? Because I mean, for as long as I've known you started CrossFit, you've been this most advocate, you've been almost an evangelist for CrossFit, right? Let's talk about how you've had to adjust and what's so amazing about CrossFit that like has you screaming from the mountaintops.
So I adjusted from doing, in class workouts to working out by myself at home during the period, especially when the period when the gyms were open. I would work out in my house. Luckily, I was able to get a pair of 25 dumbbells. I tried to get 35 dumbbells, but by the time I tried to get 35 dumbbells, they were like off, like gone. So, and then at that time, like I think 25s were sufficient because, I know I could easily move them without being super fatigued. So I was lucky to have dumbbells. I was lucky, like you can always do burpees. You can always like run when the weather is nice. Like CrossFit gives you like the ample opportunity to make up your own workouts to do. And it's always like your heart rate is like skyrocketing. So, I mean, I think what COVID-19 and the pandemic has taught me is that I guess I don't always need a group to work out, and like I can motivate myself to work out by myself. And that's what I do. Like still that now that the gyms are open, I work out by myself, not in the class. I mean, a couple of times I have worked out with the class, but it's been a very small class. But usually I work out by myself. And I feel better about working out by myself.
So
I think
what's so amazing? What's so
Mhm.
amazing about CrossFit that you're like, you're so psyched about it?
It's never you're never doing the same workout, like it's always a different workout. It's about like you competing against you. You think initially you're competing against the class, but like you learn over time, like it's really you competing against you. And there's always a goal to like hit. Like you hit maybe a clean and jerk of like 130 or 140, and you're like super stoked about that. But then it's like about working on like 140, or like you don't have a handstand walk, but that's like a lot of workouts are incorporating handstand walks, and it's like about practicing trying to get a handstand walk or trying to get a one-legged squat called a pistol or bar muscle up. It's about like you see all these deficits or weaknesses in your CrossFit game, and it's all about like strengthening them. And it's like it always feels like, like it's whatever you did, it's never good enough. Like there's always something to chase after. And I think that that's where the addiction lies, because you're always chasing a goal, like it's nothing, you're never satisfied where you are. And I think it's like your peers, even if you're working out by yourself, like it's your peers, like knowing their PRs and, like trying to chase them, trying to use that as like, fuel to like do better, like, and be better. And like your friends help you be better, whether you're working out by yourself or not, them checking in on you, making sure you're working out. I think that's appreciated. It's about community. I think the community, like my coach used to always get on me if I missed a class, like, where were you? Like CrossFit's not like riding a bike. And it's not like you miss a few days, you will feel it the day that you return. You will be like, oh, I suck. And the thing is, I've been injured so many times. And like, say, like before the injury, like I'm on top, I'm on fire. But then, like, like you're rehabbing, you're recovering. And when you return to CrossFit, it's like you suck. You can't hit the same like PR, like the same numbers that you used to hit when you're lifting.
So you mentioned earlier that is CrossFit like an overall organization, and then there are like subgroups, or how does this work? Because I've yet gone to a CrossFit class with you, so
like CrossFit's a big community. They have a CEO, but like it's not subgroups. It's just basically a big community with different boxes. Like that's the gym. A CrossFit gym is referred to as a box with different boxes, and you can find a box like all over the world. That's how major CrossFit is. I could go to Amsterdam and then find like boxes in Amsterdam and like just drop in for like a fee, and basically CrossFit is just a one big community, it's no subdivisions. The only thing that you will see are like the CrossFit, the big athletes that compete in big CrossFit games.
Awesome. So, we're going to go away from CrossFit a little bit because, I see the excitement of talking about CrossFit. What is a tip that you would give somebody that would get started on traveling? Like, what would you tell them to do?
I would say like figure out if you're a free flowing person where you just like what type of person are you? Do you like plan, organize travel? Then like I think that for me, I'm that way. So figure out what type of person are you? Free flowing where you can just like instantly book a hotel, book a flight, and just figure it out, or travel. Are you a backpacker who can just carry like a backpack and travel throughout? Figure out like what type of person you are. That's important. Knowing yourself, knowing like what things you need to make you feel safe, and your finances. Like I think travel consists of budgeting your money, saving money to travel. Whether that is you get a paycheck, put money aside to travel, especially if that's something that you're interested in, whether it's like $100 per paycheck, and I think like especially if you like a travel agency, they do payment plans, then you can, what amount you owe. I think that's awesome. And I think it's definitely budget, put aside travel budget. That's what I would recommend, and figure out what type of traveler you think you will be. Purge, I can't hear you. I still
can't. I was muted this time. I said those are a lot of tips. That's really dope. And so at this point, what's been your favorite place to visit?
So my favorite place that I visit was Amsterdam. I remember stepping off the plane, and me and my mom realized that like our luggage was not there, and our luggage probably wouldn't be arriving until 3 days, which was like depressing as heck to me. Like I was just like devastated. Like we packed all this thing, and my jacket. I went in the fall and it was like freezing cold outside, and I didn't have my jacket. My jacket was in my suitcase. So that was devastating. But then when you step outside the doors and you see and we got out of the cab to our hotel, and seeing just the scenery at nighttime was just so beautiful. And then when we woke up, still probably just one pair of clothing, luckily that we had, just stepping outside, just the scenery just really just was calming in some type of way. It's if the United States went south and I had to live in a certain place, I'd probably live in Amsterdam. For some reason, the city is booming, but they speak English, so that's good. You don't feel like you're an outcast, and I just feel like the nightlife is pretty chill too. It's not crazy, but it's cool. It's decent, and I just feel like I guess maybe if I don't know if we were in a bubble, but I didn't experience discrimination because I'm an American or discrimination because of the color of my skin. I just thought Amsterdam was real chill, just chill all the way. It's definitely some place that I would love to go back.
Nice. I mean, for me, right now, I would say my top 3 places to probably go back is Prague, Cape Town, and Ghana. No, in no particular order.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that, Amsterdam is definitely one of them. But I have things I want. I don't want to go back because I have places I want to go to. I want to go to Japan. I want to go to New Zealand. I want to go to Thailand, and I want to go to Greece. And there's one place else that I need to go to, and I can't. It starts with C, but I can't for the life of me.
Is it Cartagena?
No, it's
Hairstyle? Is it in South America?
No, it's in Europe. But more so toward the Russian part of Europe. I'm gonna have to get back with, but that's on my to-do list. My friend went and she said she had the best time, and I can't. Starts with C. I think they do GOT. Game of Thrones might have been. I think they did.
Czech Republic?
No, it's not the Czech Republic.
See, we'll figure it out.
Yes. Greece is definitely what was on my to-do list. New Zealand, Japan. So I'm supposed to go to Singapore next year, and I'm really excited because that's was on my to-do list. So was Bali. I thought that was going to be my honeymoon spot.
So you need to keep me posted, right? I mean, now you travel, I travel. I mean, hint. I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, I got to do New Zealand with my mom, but Japan would be dope.
I'm there. Just keep me posted.
Japan would be a good place for somebody to organize. I said I like organized trips. I didn't say I was an organizer.
Hints. All right, got you. I'll find something for you in Japan.
All right, because that would be dope.
Well, it's going to be more than just, with me, it's going to be more than just Japan. We're going to do Japan. We're going to be doing South Korea, China, and then maybe Singapore or something. Because if we're over there, might as well see as much as we can.
Yes. I mean, I would think I was like Kill Bill in Japan, though, okay? I would have to enact the whole thing.
Oh, man. So I really appreciate you for jumping on. And this has been a really dope conversation. So once again, thank you very much.
You're welcome. And if we travel, we got to do karaoke.
I'll think about that.
Can't sing, right. But so keep that in mind. I can't sing.
I got you.
Another dope conversation. Keep traveling and stay safe. Until next time, peace.